Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to cure a half side of sockeye salmon to make cold smoked salmon. I hope you enjoy. I've got a piece of lovely sockeye salmon here that I'm going to cure, and we're going to turn this into smoked salmon. Sockeye salmon's a wild salmon. It's got a beautiful colour to it, very deep pink. But before we cure it, we need to have a non-reactive dish. If you don't have a non-reactive dish and it happens to be steel and that'll react with salt, then just line it like I have here with a little bit of cling film. We're going to put some salt in the base here. And that's really just to soak up some of the cure, and we want to make sure this is sitting nice and flat in the bottom. Perfect. We're going to pop our salmon onto that bed of salt, and then that's going to be ready to cure. We just pop that straight down in the center there. This is about 500 grams. So if you don't want to do a whole side, which is quite expensive, then half a side like this is absolutely perfect. And you can buy this from your local supermarket. Now, because this is quite thin, I'm actually going to put a very delicate coating of salt on here, because we don't want this to be too salty, but we do need to cure it. So it's a bit of a balancing act, really.
You can apply this exact same technique to a side of trout, providing the weight ratios to salt are maintained.
Now, if you were going to be weighing this out to put on the surface, then you'd be roughly 2 to 3% of the weight of the fish would be the salt that you'd apply to the surface. So disregard all the salt that's underneath it. That's really there just as a sponge. So I think personally that's enough. What we're going to do with this, we're going to cover it over with a bit of cling film, and that's going to go and cure in the fridge for around about 12 to 18 hours. And we'll come back to this. Right, let's get this back into the fridge, and we'll start the curing process, and we'll come back to this when it's done.
The salmon has now been curing for 12 hours in the fridge. You can see, if you look in the base of the tray, all the water and moisture that's come out of the salmon during the curing process. We can now discard all this salt . Rinse it under cold running water. Pat the salmon dry using kitchen towel. The salmon can now go back into the fridge to dry for a short period, usually around 3 to 4 hours. After the salmon has been drying in the fridge for a few hours, you can see this shiny, sticky salt protein glaze on the surface. This is called a pellicle, and it helps the smoke stick to the salmon. In this example, we're using a ProQ Artisan smoker, loaded fully for an 18-hour burn. We'll need to load this smoke generator twice to complete 48 hours of smoking. We slice the salmon roughly 2 to 3 millimeters thick and then place it onto gold boards ready to go into our vacuum sealer so that we can keep it for an extended period of time. If you'd rather not vacuum pack, the salmon will be fine covered over in the fridge for around about 5 days. I'm often asked how our salmon tastes, and I can honestly say this particular salmon tastes really nice. It's got a wonderful mouthfeel. It's not slimy because sockeye salmon doesn't have a great deal of fat in between the flakes of flesh. It's a very lean salmon in that sense. Because we didn't use a great deal of salt, it's not too salty either, and this will appeal to people who have a more sensitive palate and are a little bit more sensitive to salt. I hope you liked the video, and if you want to see more videos like this, and in particular about curing salmon, I've got a really detailed 4-part series. I'll put the links to this in the description of the video. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your time and effort that you put into viewing these videos, and if you could leave us a subscription, click on the bell icon and like the video, I'd be most grateful. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.